Welcome to WeConnect. In this day and age, marketing is as much an art as it is a science, and airline marketing is something totally different. Our guest today on this program is Mr. Madhu Mathan. He's a Deputy General Manager of Sales and Marketing for Air India, and he looks after the whole of the south of the country. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, how different is it really? What are the special skills that you would need to be a good airline marketing person?
Well, airline marketing in India is at a very, very exciting stage. I would say if you take any market in the world, the Indian aviation market is the place to be. In today's context, airline marketing is all about selling the right seat to the right customer at the right price at the right time. So the airline and the marketeer who develops the skill to do this wins the game.
Right. How does he develop those skills, that special skill you're talking about?
Well, let me explain.
Please.
Every airline has got several levels of fares. The earlier you book, the passenger gets the lowest level. And once those seats are sold out, the fare moves to the next highest level and so on till close to departure or the day before departure, the seats are available only at the highest level. Now for the airline, it's a question of selling the right number of seats at each level.
Because of course an airline seat is a very perishable commodity really. Once the airplane is taken off, that's it. That seat and the revenue that it could have generated is lost.
Absolutely. It's the most perishable product in the world.
Yes.
So the question is, one, you can keep all your seats expecting a higher fare and hope to sell closer to the departure. But then if there are no takers, you lose out.
You're stuck.
At the other end of the spectrum, if you sell too many seats at the lowest level of the fare, then you would have undersold. And finally, close to departure, you find that your flight is full and you have no more seats to offer, though there are people offering you the highest fare.
Right. So are you telling me that airlines actually think this way?
Yes, absolutely. That is the whole game. The whole
Really?
game is about getting that mix right. How many seats to sell at each level.
Right. Now you have been in the industry for 19 years. And I need to ask you, when you think back, what about the profile of passengers? Can we talk now? Have you seen the profile of passengers change over the years?
Yes, profile of passenger has changed dramatically and overwhelmingly.
Really?
When I joined the airline, air travel was something very exclusive. It was the exclusive privilege and preserve of a chosen few because it was that expensive.
Right.
There was only one fare. If you had to go from Bangalore to Delhi, you had only one fare, which was the full fare.
Right.
Today you have a plethora of fare levels, almost 10, 12 levels of fares. If you, for instance, if you want to go from Chennai to Delhi today, your fares may start anywhere below 4,000
Right.
and go up to 25,000.
Right. When it comes to selling an airline seat, do you think it is more difficult than maybe selling a car, a bar of soap, a packet of tea or whatever? Do you think that?
Yes, it's a more complex process. The reason is that a bar of soap or a car being not perishable products, you can produce, stock up and sell at the rate at which you please. But airline seat being a perishable commodity, you have to ensure that it is sold before the flight leaves and it is sold at the right price, which is the most critical thing.
But if I turn up at the airport and it's last minute, and why should I necessarily have to pay a full fare? Isn't that the point at which an airline should probably say, oh well, the seat's going to go empty anyway, let's just give it to XYZ, or do they just say, okay, let it go empty?
Not really. You see, the passenger who turns up for the flight at the last moment is somebody desperate to travel.
But that you're taking advantage. It's exploitation then.
No, that's what we call marketing. You call it exploitation, we call it marketing.
Is that the other word for it?
I would say so.
So do you enjoy doing marketing of an airline?
Absolutely. I love this job. I'm passionate about it. And I can say that it's something which is very, very engaging, very, very exciting and absolutely addictive.
Right. How do these big airlines cope nowadays with the fact that you've got so many budget carriers, you've got so many low-cost airlines? I mean, how does it cope? I mean, how do the airlines still, the big airlines still manage to keep their heads above water?
See, the big airlines also have taken the battle to the budget carriers. The budget carriers have started this regime of low fares to attract the passengers. And the bigger airlines, the so-called large carriers,
Yes.
had no, we call them the legacy carriers, had no option but to follow suit and offer attractive fares. But they do it very carefully. They offer a certain number of seats matching the fares of the budget carriers or slightly higher than those fares. But then the rest of the seats, they make sure that they fill up at a higher fare so that the average fare they get meets their cost and generates a profit also.
Right. But whatever it is, the budget carriers are giving the big airlines a run for their money. Do you not agree with that comment?
Absolutely. See, if you look at any of the domestic sectors, I would put it this way. For a flight of say 1 hour or 2 hours, what the passenger looks for is only two things. One is the time and the fare, nothing else. He is not looking for some fabulous onboard service or the best cuisine or the best service. All this doesn't really kick in for a duration of 1 hour or 2 hours. Now, if you were to go to Bombay for some work, you would look at what time you have to reach Bombay. So, is this flight convenient?
Yes.
And then the second thing is obviously you would look at the fare, the best fare for this time. So, in that sense, budget carriers have laid down the rules. They are giving a good fight to the legacy carriers, but the legacy carriers are also doing well. It's not that they are losing out. Everybody is fighting for market share and looking at more and more innovative strategies to attract the passenger.
Right. Now, I understand that, and I know from my own experience, that a lot of people just buy their tickets, you know, and look at, say, 21 or 22 websites before they actually decide. And then you've got websites that give you all the different airlines and what it costs on each airline. So, I mean, is this a cause for concern for big airlines?
No, it's not a cause for concern, it's a challenge. You know, basically, I'm reminded about Alvin Toffler's saying in this book, Third Wave, he says, you need to learn, unlearn what you learned and relearn. He puts it very succinctly when he says, forget learning, learn forgetting. So we need to forget all those ground rules which we learned 10 years or 12 years back. We need to unlearn those things and relearn the new tricks of the trade.
Right.
And as you rightly put it, the bulk of the sale today happens through the portals, the online portals.
Webpage.
Anybody would log on to the portal because you get all the airlines listed over there, you get all the times and all the fares, and you can choose. It's a wide choice you can make. The same holds true for international travel also. There are websites like Expedia,
Yes, right.
which offer fabulous offers, and not only that, they entice you to take more things, like they give you a hotel at a good rate.
They
ask
tempt you basically
tempt you.
with
They ask you, what about, you know, a day later they'll come back and send you a message asking, what about your cab? Would you like to have a cab also? So,
Yes.
you know, it's a package deal.
It's a package deal. Right, I'm going to ask you to hold on for just a short while, and we'll be away for just a very little while and get right back with you here on We Connect.